Here's an explanation of how I could apply the Assure model to my copyright lesson. My copyright lesson was designed for a group of 7th grade students in a teacher's reading class, creating a project. And I'm partnering with the classroom teacher to teach them about copyright. So analyzing the learners, first of all, of course, 7th grade reading class, they're digital natives. The information given to me is that the students, like my students today, my 7th graders, are digital natives. They've been around the web, the internet, devices pretty much all their lives. However, they do lack copyright knowledge. They don't know what is fair to use, what is not, what copyright is, how it applies to them. There was no explanation given as far as the makeup of the class, assuming it's a typical 7th grade class in a public school. And I say typical, what does typical mean? It's a mixed group of learners. We'll have some who have high academic ability, some who perhaps have IEPs, maybe reading difficulties, maybe writing difficulties such as um, dysgraphia. So without knowing that, I don't know exactly what to expect. However, what I could provide as accommodations is closed captioning on the video for those who maybe have difficulty hearing. Perhaps sentence stems on the assignment that they'll complete to help struggling writers um, form their thoughts into whole sentences. So those are strategies I could use for those learners. The main standard and objective that the hypothetical teacher and I agree upon is that students need to identify and demonstrate their knowledge of copyright. So using the Assure model for the standard, given multiple scenarios, 7th grade students will identify if a specific action is a violation of copyright and explain their response. So not only are they saying, oops, this violates copyright, or no, this is fine, they have to explain their thinking. They have to go into more detail as to why. Why is this a violation of copyright? Explain it. Why is this not a violation of copyright? What did the person in this scenario do that prevented a copyright violation? Strategies and resources. The instruction was to create a lecture style, the a lecture style instruction, excuse me, providing visuals and examples within my presentation. I provided images that went along with text. I used a little bit of text and explained. It wasn't just read off of the screen. Examples of the issues that were being discussed, and also modeling. Strategy I used in the presentation was modeling how to search, where to go, how to do it, to find images that are free to use per Creative Commons license. Utilizing the resources, well, first of all, I had to find the images in the presentation, find sites to use, practice using them myself, practice using Creative Commons search myself so I wasn't violating copyright in creating the lesson. I created a Google slide presentation so I could present the information to the students. If I was doing this for a real group of students, they'd be in my library. Um, I would be presenting it to them, hopefully on a flat panel, and allowing them to see it, hear it, participate in the presentation, and then requiring their participation. This is where they're putting their new knowledge to use. So they would identify, again, if scenarios demonstrate copyright violations, they explain their reasoning. Um, they also would have, as part of the assignment, part of their participation, they'd be using a Chromebook, they'd be using Google to find images. I would provide them with specific things to look for, specific types of images, and they have to demonstrate that they can find images using a Creative Commons search. So they're finding images that are safe to use, free to use under a Creative Commons license. Now, not having an actual lesson to present to students, it's tough to evaluate, but hypothetically, what I could do is once the students have created their projects, or even at points in the process, review their progress, review their projects with the classroom teacher, and do some searches on our own, looking at images that students included, searching on our own and saying, is this available for them to use under Creative Commons license? If not, maybe going back and revising the lesson to include more examples of how to find Creative Commons licensed images, maybe more practice for the students as well, hands-on practice with me, with each other as well, to find images, to practice finding images that would not violate copyright.